Alright, so Techland just released a new episode of Dying to Know More, where they got Tymon Smektala to explain parkour, how it works in Dying Light 2, sort of what kind of things Aiden can do, things you can combo together, but more importantly, he touched on the floatiness that everyone complains about, and he explained that it's all very intentional. The fact that the player stays in the air for longer, that is completely intentional. The gravity, he specifies, is actually 9.8 meters per second, which is gravity in real life. And in Dead Island and Dying Light 1, he mentioned that this value was double that. And by double, I assume he means like twice as fast, as in gravity was twice as intense. So, although it is less intense in Dying Light 2, it matches real life. And more importantly, it gives the player more time to consider what they're going to do, what combos they're going to string together, what platform they're going to latch onto, since there are so many different options. Once again, this is very intentional. So first of all, I think it's great that they're acknowledging this once again, just like how they acknowledged that players had concerns about the heads-up display in a previous episode of Dying to Know More, but it's also very reassuring to know, especially this close to the release date, that the parkour we're going to be getting on launch is exactly how it was intended to be, and he made the point that although it may look a little bit weird and different from the first game when you're watching gameplay, when you're actually playing the game, it's going to feel so much more natural, and it's going to work really well with the way that Dying Light 2 has been redesigned. And I, for one, fully believe him. First of all, other YouTubers and influencers and journalists got to play the game a couple months ago, and they pretty much said the same thing, that although it felt a bit different because they're used to the first game, within not much time at all, they were completely used to it and weren't even thinking about it. It felt natural and it flowed pretty well, and maybe there were only a couple of key scenarios where it stood out to them when you throw other things like slow-mo into the mix, for instance. But not only that, I remember when Dying Light 1 was going to be announced, and as a console player at the time, I played it on PS4, I remember they announced that the jump button was going to be R1, or right bumper on the Xbox controller, and everyone freaked out, and I admit, I was very skeptical myself, like, what? The jump button should be X or something. Even in older PlayStation games, it was triangle, which was weird, but okay, I can get with that. R1 as a jump button? What on earth is going on here? And sure enough, when the game released, it flowed so seamlessly. It was so intentional, and Techland knows best how to experience their game and what works best for the player. So I feel quite confident putting my trust into Techland, and having faith that they will deliver a seamless, enjoyable movement experience within the game. I think they're absolutely going to nail it like they did with the first game. That's all for this video. I'll leave a link to the full interview in the description if you want to check that out and see what they had to say. Have a beautiful day and start doing some stretching, start doing some warming up for some parkour in the world of Dying Light 2. Catch you guys.